They committed the perfect crime, 100 million in diamonds, and not a single clue left behind. But one man's careless mistake unraveled everything. This is the stunning finale of the Antwerp diamond heist. For 3 days, the Diamond Center operated as normal. The vault, now emptier, gave no sign of the violation. But perfection is a fragile thing. Leonardo watches the news obsessively from his safe house. The Diamond Center is shown on TV, business as usual. Leonardo's confidence begins to fray into nervous anticipation. He expected chaos, but the silence is deafening. While disposing of the evidence in a nearby forest, Leonardo made a fatal error. He didn't just burn the trash, he left some behind. Leonardo burns documents and empty food wrappers in a secluded forest. He stamps out the fire, but a half-burnt pizza box and some plastic bags remain partially hidden under leaves. Leonardo, usually meticulous, is rushed and overconfident. This is his one critical lapse. One day, a local man walking in a jungle as usual. What he discovered wasn't just trash. It was a treasure map of guilt. A local man bends down, using a stick to sift through the burnt debris. Slowly, something catches his eye. He lifts a partially burnt address label from the Diamond Center, and beside it, a discarded practice lock. His face shifts instantly, from curiosity to alarm. Without wasting a second, he pulls out his phone and calls the police. The police, who had found no evidence of a break-in, now had their first lead. The trash led them directly to Leonardo.
Notar Bartolo. He rented an office there.
Detectives in an evidence lab examine the burnt address label and the practice lock. They cross-reference it with tenant records. The knock on the door came at dawn. The perfect heist was over. Police swarm Leonardo's apartment. He opens the door, his face a mask of resigned calm. Leonardo doesn't look surprised. He holds out his wrists for the cuffs. They had Leonardo, but they had no diamonds. The interrogation was a battle of wits. Leonardo sits in a stark interrogation room facing 2 detectives. He smiles calmly.
Where are the diamonds, Leonardo?
What diamonds?
Leonardo, ever the mastermind, tried a bold new strategy: the truth. Leonardo leans forward.
It was an inside job. The security chief was in on it. I was just the fall guy.
The accusation tore through the Diamond Center. The trusted guard was now the prime suspect. The security chief is suspended, his reputation in tatters.
I swear to you, I am innocent. Everything I've worked for is being destroyed. Please, you must listen to me.
He protests his innocence to stony-faced superiors. The chief is devastated, his life's work destroyed by the accusation.
Look at these profiles. The genius, the monster. We're dealing with legends here.
They've never worked together before.
Based on the practice lock and the sophistication of the crime, police identified the crew, the School of Turin. The detectives realize they are dealing with legends. To secure a lighter sentence, Leonardo gave them a name, but not a name they expected. Leonardo slides a photo of his wife across the table. The detectives are shocked. It was a personal betrayal to save his own skin.
She helped. She was the lookout.
But why, Leonardo? How could you do this to me?
His wife was arrested, stunned by the betrayal. The mastermind's web of loyalty was collapsing. Police arrest Leonardo's wife at their home. She looks heartbroken and confused. She cries, not for her arrest, but for the man who sacrificed her. The world watched as the trial of the century began, but the star witness was missing: the diamonds. Courtroom sketches show Leonardo and his wife in the dock. The prosecution presents the burnt evidence. Leonardo maintains an arrogant smirk, knowing they can't prove the full value of the theft. While Leonardo faced the music, Speedy vanished into a quiet life, his share of the diamonds forever hidden. Speedy is in a small countryside cottage, working on a simple clock. A single perfect diamond is hidden inside a clock mechanism. Speedy is at peace, his genius never discovered. The genius, true to his name, used his skills to erase his digital footprint, living in constant fear of a knock on the door. The genius lives off-grid, using encrypted devices and constantly monitoring police scanners. He is free, but trapped by his own mind, unable to enjoy his wealth. The monster used his strength to build a legitimate business overseas, his violent past buried under a layer of respectability. The monster owns a gym in a tropical country, training athletes. He is a pillar of the small community. He has found a peace he never knew in his old life.
You feel that resistance there? Good. Now, just a little more pressure, very slowly.
The King of Keys returned to his workshop, his legendary final job known only to him. He took his secrets to the grave. The old man is back at his bench, teaching his craft to a young apprentice, a faint, knowing smile on his face. He is content, his art having reached its ultimate expression. Without the diamonds, the case was weak. Leonardo was convicted not for the heist of the century, but for the insurance job of the year.
We find the defendant guilty of a lesser charge. There is insufficient evidence for the full $100 million.
The judge reads the verdict. Leonardo is found guilty of a lesser charge, insufficient evidence for the full 100 netters. Leonardo allows himself a small, victorious smile. He beat the system, even in defeat. The mastermind received a 10-year sentence. His wife, whom he implicated, was set free. Their marriage was the final casualty of the heist. Leonardo is led away. His wife looks at him one last time with a mixture of pity and contempt, then walks away alone. Leonardo loses the one thing he didn't plan on losing. Of the 100 million in diamonds, only a small fraction was ever recovered. The rest vanished into legend. A detective closes the case file, stamping it unsolved. An evidence bag with a few recovered diamonds sits on a shelf. The detective knows he was outsmarted. It was both a failure and a perverse admiration. In prison, Leonardo was not a criminal. He was a celebrity, the man who almost pulled off the perfect crime. Other inmates treat Leonardo with respect.
They called it the heist of the century, but really, it was just simple misdirection. We never actually touched the vault itself.
He holds court, telling sanitized versions of his story. He enjoys the notoriety, the mastermind finally getting the recognition he craved. Years later, a documentary crew interviewed him. They asked the one question everyone wanted to know. An older, grayer Leonardo sits for an interview in a prison common room.
Where are the diamonds, Leonardo?
He just taps his temple and smiles.
They're safe.
After serving his time, Leonardo Notarbartolo walked out of prison a free man. The world had moved on, but the legend had not. Leonardo steps out into the sunlight, squinting. There are no cameras, no police, just silence. He looks older, quieter, the fire of ambition replaced by the calm of a man who knows a secret. Did he have a diamond hidden away, a final reward for his genius? Or was the true treasure the story itself? Leonardo walks through Antwerp, passing the Diamond Center one last time. He doesn't even glance at it. His expression is unreadable. The ultimate mystery remains. To this day, the Antwerp diamond heist is studied as the closest anyone has ever come to the perfect crime. The news clippings, book covers, and movie posters inspired by the heist. The legacy of the 5 men endures. A mastermind, an artist, a genius, a monster, and a king. They proved that no vault is unbreakable, but the human heart is the most fragile lock of all. Slow fade on a single brilliant diamond, sitting on a velvet cloth in a display case, forever out of reach. The story ends, but the legend is forever. If you were captivated by this incredible true story, explore our Master Heists playlist for more, and the adventure continues next week with an even more daring story, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it.
Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any updates.